All right, so we're laughing right now. We just came on the air because there's a picture going around that's pretty hilarious. It is the some lady apparently at the airport, and I think this is Toronto because it's where the Fire play tomorrow. Asked for a photo of the Fire players because they're all wearing their warm up suits because they have to fly in normal airplanes and coach or whatever because it's MLS. So she's got all these players around her, and the photo is of the photo being taken, and the person taking the photo on the right is Bastian Schweinsteiger.
Yeah, she thinks she's getting a picture with the Chicago Fire players. It's like, yeah, the biggest one is not been there.
I'll see if I can show it here.
It's
Uh,
awesome.
let's see. Here we go. Call it up, and there it is. Yeah, if it's little there, but you could see right there. That's Schweinsteiger taking the picture with this lady, and then a few of the other Fire players over here on the left. And Eric Gehrig from the Fire took the photo and tweeted it. We just put it on our account too, so it's pretty funny. um, and I gotta say, as a Fire fan, it's actually nice to be like joking about fun things
Something
instead of
relevant, something beyond. Oh, the team shit on us again.
because it's normally like for years it's just been dwindling attendance and nobody cares and the city is bankrupt that has the stadium or near it, or they're the product on the field we're in this bad, we're in last place. There's this one weird fan who supports everything that the owner does all the time, and then everybody else is mad.
Don.
Yeah, so it's actually nice to I wasn't sure if I wanted Schweinsteiger, but I'm definitely glad we got him because it's kind of fun. It makes things fun again. So I have to get out to a game this year though. They had 3 games in a row at home, and I was gone out of the area for all 3. So
Sure.
I've once I was out of the country, and the other 2 times I was out of the area. So I've got to get to a game. March or May 13th, Seattle's here. You should come down. We'll go. Um, so Bobby Wood is in the news today.
He scores when he wants.
He does score when he wants, and we know for sure. This seems like legitimate news that Hamburg has opened contract talks with him because they said so. So that's pretty reliable. And there's been interest from other teams. Makes sense. Bild, the German publication, reported today, and I can never remember. Sandra, you can, if you're watching this overnight, you can tell us which one it is. Bild is a good publication, and Bild Sport is a tabloid rag. I get them mixed up. So one of them is a good publication and one of them isn't. I can't remember which is which though. But the Bild is reporting.
Fact check here.
Bild is reporting that Dortmund want Bobby Wood to back up Aubameyang. So I'm thinking, well, if Hamburg's going to get relegated, maybe I'd rather him stay in the Bundesliga, but otherwise, no. I like Dortmund, but I want Bobby Wood to play, and he's just not going to play enough there. So I kind of hope this move is either a complete rumor or at least doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather see him keep his playing time. I don't want to see him become a permanent bench player. I mean, I would think once again, I mean, it's another transfer period, so Aubameyang's going to be mentioned as moving, but they just have too many options. I mean, if nothing else, maybe they'd slot Royce up there. Maybe they'd slot any of the up and comers from Pulisic to Dembele to Kagawa. I don't know, like any of these guys who, they're trying to find places for them in their offense. Maybe they want to shift one of them, and that becomes the new front runner. I mean, yeah, the dream sure is that Pulisic to Wood, get them going and get them working together so that everything works out when they're with the national team. But I just don't see this one actually happening. I mean, I just think Dortmund's in a position where they have better players already, and then they could get better players. I don't know. Wood is certainly promising, but I don't know that he doesn't have like the the limit or the the achievement level or achievement potential of Pulisic. So I don't see this actually coming to fruition.
What happened to Klinsmann behind you? Did he slide down, or did you put him in a lower position?
I realized while we were talking about Schweinsteiger that he had fallen down, and I hadn't caught it to put him up before the show. So I moved him. He's sitting on the box that holds up my background here.
I was confused as to what happened there. So
I want him sitting on my shoulder.
I think this counts as a fall if you're taking part in the USfanTV drinking game. This does count, so go ahead and drink.
Here's to you, Clinzy.
Right now, it doesn't look like Hamburg will be relegated, but I think they're sitting in 14th, but that could obviously change quickly. They're only like a point ahead of where they need to be. So, I don't know. I guess first and foremost, I want Bobby Wood to stay in the Bundesliga. Would I rather him be on the bench at Dortmund or playing in Bundesliga 2? I mean, our thing on this show is that we always want our U.S. guys to be playing at the highest level they can be. So maybe I'd rather him be playing, but I'd hate the idea that a guy who's breaking out like he is now would have to take a step down in leagues. But, I mean, look what it did for DeAndre Yedlin. So he's doing just fine in the championship.
You might say Emerson Hyndman, who will probably
exactly, yeah,
too, yeah.
So,
but yeah. I mean, for a guy who's been doing well in a top league, you don't want to see him have to drop down. However, you also don't want to see him jump to like a top team where he suddenly becomes a secondary or tertiary option, and who knows when he plays next, or he only plays in those DFB Pokal games, and however you say it. Is it Pokal? I don't. My German is limited.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I guess it'd be okay. I mean, inevitably this summer there will be Aubameyang to Arsenal, Aubameyang to Chelsea rumors.
I don't think he'll be going to Arsenal. No, I'm just gonna go out on a limb.
Going there.
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that that rumor is going to come up this year. I think Arsenal is doomed right now.
I feel like
for the foreseeable future.
Okay, Arsenal may be in trouble, but this doesn't stop the English tabloids from throwing out every rumor possible to sell papers. So, I mean,
yeah, Douglas, I think you're right. It's more likely
that's never going to stop. Yeah, will he go somewhere? Maybe. But then is Bobby Wood good enough to replace him? I love Bobby Wood. He's not that good. So, yeah. And I didn't mean to rhyme there like Jesse Jackson, but I don't know. Yeah, he's landed in a good spot. This is my opinion on a lot of our guys who are in a good spot. He's landed in a good spot. Things are working out. Assuming they don't get relegated, I'd kind of like him to stay there, but we'll see. I guess, like Klinsmann always says, you don't get better unless you get out of your comfort zone and push yourself, but that also causes you to fail miserably and have setbacks like Jozy Altidore did. So,
oh yeah, you are copying me, yeah. Oh, I see now. Oh, you hated me months ago, but now you think I'm the greatest.
So, speaking of Dortmund, Tuchel didn't start Pulisic again.
Yeah, and they did not fare well because of it. There went our fair ex-coach from his new position, so he does not want to stay there either.
I think that counts as another fall drink.
I'll give it. I think everyone expected Pulisic would start after he kind of was the one shining star in the first leg, and then to start him on the bench again. And again, they didn't have a good first half. He came in, things got better, but it wasn't the enough.
Level of impact that he had in the first match, there's a graphic going around that shows like literally everything was vastly improved after he came on. Maybe that's not all him, but that's certainly somewhat him. I mean, he really did inject energy and pace into that first game against Monaco. Yesterday, he wasn't as good. He didn't have as much time, but it seemed like, Dortmund was they were close there for a while, but Monaco obviously pulled away at the end, and then went our American in the semifinal dreams. Not since what, DeMarcus Beasley we talked about on the last show?
in 2005, I think it was.
DMB. So
yeah. Simon, Bobby Wood, the next Brian Ching. No, Bobby Wood's already better than Brian Ching. I always like Ching. I came to like more later on when he showed that he had kind of a cool personality, because I was never that impressed with him as a player. Bobby Wood, I guess in the beginning I didn't believe him either. I was like, he seems to score, but I don't really see these doing other things. He actually seems to be putting it all together now, and he really does seem to be showing talent. And no, I think he's already far superior to Brian Ching. I mean, Ching was already at best, probably you could say Brian Ching was a second or third choice as a striker. Bobby Wood, I think there's a good argument for moving Jozy out and putting Bobby Wood in his place come this summer. I mean, you can look at different places on the internet. People are already talking about it on Twitter. How does Bruce Arena fit Jozy, Bobby Wood, Clint Dempsey, and Pulisic all into his attacking positions? How do you get at least those top three out there? Well, the three strikers out there, and then Pulisic, where do you put him? Or who do you sacrifice to maybe put Pulisic in the 10 spot? But Bobby Wood is the next League One. Yes, Leipzig. Absolutely. Yeah, you're right, Douglas. The commentators the other day were giving Tuchel shit, and I think they probably should. Right from the beginning, it wasn't just like Americans who wanted to see Pulisic starting. He truly looked
exactly.
He looks like probably the best player on the field for Dortmund in the first leg, and really, he kind of seemed to be the one who maybe wasn't still carrying the baggage of, we almost got blown up yesterday. So, I don't know if it was that the rest of the team was down because of it and he didn't drop as much, or if he just didn't feel it. Maybe he's part of what made him able to like come out at 17 and not seem to be too much in awe of the game, was that he also doesn't, like, some of these things just kind of don't register with him in a way, or he overcomes them somehow. So he's able to kind of forget about the fact that 24 hours ago we all thought we were going to die, and here we are playing a soccer game.
It seems that way, but Grant Walt, I think it was, talked to Mark Pulisic, Christian's dad, who's now back here in the States, coaching Rochester, I think it is. But and he seemed to indicate that Christian was a little more shaken than it appeared on the field. I guess Christian's mom was over there for the game, and they connected quickly after the explosions. And I mean, we said this before this incident, that he's just got an unbelievable calm about him.
Yeah.
But it's an aware calm. Like you'll hear 18-year-old athletes who are like so stupid they don't know what's going on around them. And then you'll hear, guys that know what's going on around them and are completely cocky about it. He's like a combination of the both. If you combine the good aspects of both, he's always just incredibly calm, but smart and aware. He gets it, and it still doesn't rattle him. And to see him the way he played in that second half, after 24 hours after somebody tried to kill him, and to think that he's 18 is absolutely amazing. And I get that Tuchel likes to rotate guys, and I get that he likes to take it easy with an 18-year-old prodigy, which is, I guess, the good thing and the right thing to do. But at some point you have to go, he's definitely in our 11. Like he's as in our 11 as Aubameyang or somebody like that is. And I feel like we've reached that point. They just played better with him on the field in those two games. And I'm sad that we're not going to get to see him in the semifinal. I don't really like much of what's going on with the semifinal, to be honest. I guess I'll cheer for Monaco. But it'll just drive up the price on Mbappe so far that Arsenal wouldn't even stand a chance to get him, which they wouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
Why do I even bother to care about that team anyway? But yeah, it's I don't know. I wish that he had played. I would have liked to have seen what would have happened if he played the full 90 both times. Maybe it would have been different, but maybe it would have.
We're all over Craigslist, Leipzig.
What I
haven't, the personals.
The thing when I'm talking, I can see it flashing, but I don't know what's being said. And when it's flashing a lot, it really makes me wonder.
Spanish teams bribe refs? What? Next, you'll tell me the Italian leagues are corrupt.
God, there's like a baseline acceptable level of corruption in Italian soccer, like that. They're just like,
yeah, just in Italian life.
Yeah, it's just like this is
Italy, Greece, Spain. It's just kind of expected, yeah.
I mean, Chicago for that matter. That's how we roll. So yeah, I guess we're disappointed. Just sad. I mean, who am I going to cheer for now? I can't cheer for Madrid.
Well, either. I mean, the referee's already doing it for them, so
yeah,
they don't need you.
Atletico, maybe. I hate Juventus, and I guess maybe Monaco I'll cheer for. I don't know. I'll watch.
Yeah,
I'll watch because it's enjoyable, but I guess I don't really have a rooting interest. I maybe would have cheered for Barcelona had they stuck around, but I don't know what the hell's going on there.
It is amazing that with Messi, Neymar, and Mr. Bites, Dracula, should I call him? I keep thinking there needs to be a better nickname for him. But anyway, with like probably the greatest attacking trio of all time, to see them just screwing up everything, I don't know what the hell's going on with Barcelona this year.
Emerson Hyndman this week told Ives, I think it was, that he is interested in a return to Bournemouth after this great half season he's having at Rangers. So we talked about him a little bit Tuesday night. There's rumors of Celtic being interested. I'm sure there's a lot of other teams that are interested because he's having a pretty kick-ass half season there. And I could see him going back to Bournemouth because, like we talked about, Jack Wilshere's got yet another broken leg, so they're probably going to shimmy him back to Arsenal and say, here you go. And Emerson might fit nicely there then. He had a bit of bad luck. He got hurt at the beginning of last preseason, but I think if he goes in healthy, he has a shot at actually playing some quality Premier League minutes, which we have so few guys in the Premier League these days that it would be cool to have somebody there. I don't know. We'll see. Again, wherever he goes, I just want him to play. I don't want him to come back to the Premier League and get reserve games or something like that because he's fighting position. I say stay at Rangers then. But we'll see. I'm sure it won't be cheap after this half season that he's having. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I mean, there is the rumor about Celtic. I think he wants to go back and try to make his bones in the top flight in the Premier League. And I mean, some of that may be that he's trying to be kind of the good guy and make his statement for the team that really owns him, and still sound like he wants to be a loyal player. But I would guess overall, I mean, he's playing phenomenally well. I mean, if you saw his assist over the weekend for Rangers, that was a lot of talent. I mean, he beat like 3 guys on the dribble, I think. It's at least 2 guys. I can't remember now if it's the third or if he beats the third with the pass, or if he beats the third and then he beats the fourth with the pass, lays it off. Like instead of taking the shot, I mean, he's roughly at the penalty spot. He lays it off to I think it was John Torrell, who's like wide open, and finishes it off. It was beautiful. I mean, his like 3 touches to beat 2 guys right at the edge of the box were incredible. He's showing everything you want to see, and sure, the Scottish League beyond maybe 2 teams is mostly crap, but at the same time, when those 2 teams play, it is a big deal, and he is playing in front of, loud, angry, crazy fans week in and week out, and I think that is going to help him long term.
Douglas is talking about Jozy's artist. I kind of agree. The last time I saw him play, he didn't look like he had a concrete cinder block attached to his foot type first touch. It looked like it had improved a little bit. And I wonder if that's something that he's been conscious of and working on, sort of like Jordan Morris with the bad rap on him not using his left foot. It seems like he's been working on that too. So yeah, right now Jozy seems like he's kind of on the outside looking in with the national team, especially with Bruce there as coach. You would think he'd have kind of an advantage.
Even with Bruce, I think he's kind of the odd man out. But some of that is, look at who's come through. And then on top of it, to see that Dempsey's playing well again. I shouldn't say playing well again, but scoring again, really. I mean, it's not like he stopped playing well, but to see him scoring so consistently, it's not like you're going to take him out. And yeah, Jozy, he doesn't really have the touch to play out wide. I'd actually like to see him go to maybe the Netherlands or something, someplace that it's not necessarily the highest quality, but they do a good job developing players. He'll get a lot of chances to play and to touch the ball, but there'll be more pressure on him actually evolving his first touch, because that's really, that's truly his weakness. Otherwise, I'm a big fan, and he was a cool guy when I met him, so I have a soft spot for him.
I feel like the problem is, for a guy like him, he might be able to make more money domestically than he would if he jumps to like a mid-tier league in Europe. I would rather see him go to the Netherlands or someplace like that too. By the way, Ajax today, ridiculous comeback to make the semifinal of the Europa League. Be pulling for them. I love Amsterdam, but yeah, it'd be good for him. I think a move would be good for him. He's from Southern California, so he's completely in his comfort zone right now, where he lives and everything. I mean, Donovan never worked abroad, though. He worked only in his comfort zone. Maybe Jozy's a player like that, but I would like to see him try. I'd like to see him go overseas and see what he can do. You brought up the Netherlands. I think that's a great league. Maybe Portugal or something like that for him.
Yeah, that would be another one, actually.
So yeah, he's a guy. I'm trying to think of all the guys we've got playing domestically. He might be near the top of the list of a guy I'd like to see try to go somewhere else. Darlington Nagbe would also be on that list, because he's a guy who I want to see what he's made of it.
Produce more consistently.
Yeah, exactly, and see if he fails, or Nagbe's the type of guy that I think if he went to a tougher league, he'd either wilt or get stronger, and it would probably happen relatively quickly. So if he wilts, he could come back here to MLS, and if he gets stronger, then we're better as a national team for it. So
I like that Boonbury. I like that Boonbury. Teal Bunbury. Does the U.S. want him anymore? Simon, I don't think so. I mean, well, it's not to say we don't want him, but I think it's that he's so far down the list. There are a number of guys that all kind of fit in that. If they're scoring regularly, they'll make it in. But if they're not consistent enough, they're always going to kind of drift in, maybe be on the list for Gold Cups or kind of outlier tournaments, but they're never really going to make it. And those guys get passed over by, young hotshots.
He has one cap, right?
He's got more than that, doesn't he?
Does he? We were talking.
I think so.
This comes up because yesterday, I think it was, Classic Shirts, the company that sells retro shirts in England, put something up on Twitter where they were asking, who's got one cap? Who are the one cap wonders out there? And you came up with the idea that I sent out. Bruce Arena has one cap for the USA.
Bum, bum, bum.
Which I had no idea that he did, but he was second half goalkeeper substitute. I think you said in 1972
1973,
against
I think it is,
73?
against Israel. Yeah, 2-0 loss. I knew we played Israel. I knew it was the early 70s, and I knew he played goalkeeper. I didn't realize it was his only cap. I thought he had 2 or 3, but I knew he hadn't played very much. I knew the rest, but I didn't know the details. But yeah, I did a quick look and it was like, oh shit, I know who we got to talk about.
Simon says he's got 4 caps and 1 goal for the U.S.
I remember him scoring because that's where was it against Mexico? Was it
Chile,
Costa Rica maybe? Oh, okay. I remember the commentary being, I like that Bunburi.
Yes.
I like that Bunburi, which always made me laugh. And I wish, for that reason, he was actually better and could play for us, because I'd love it if that would be on TV more often. But yeah, to me, he's in that mix of there's 3 or 4 guys probably that all kind of fit somewhere between like 6th or 7th and 10th, kind of on the depth chart. And I just don't see him moving up, because I think there are too many guys who either have the potential or are younger or are more active right now, scoring more goals, whatever. Somebody gets hot, and those guys sort of always get stuck in that same pool.
Yeah, you're right, Simon. Alan Gordon has unbelievably 2 U.S. caps. I think Klinsmann was watching a little bit too much Galaxy, and when he brought him in. But to me,
the only thing Alan Gordon's ever been good for was his interviews in the Beckham experiment. Yeah. Beyond that, like I love the guy for that story, because in many ways that book is more about him than it's about David Beckham, and he's awesome. Like, if you haven't read it, you must. 12 years or whatever it's been now since it happened. Like, has it been that long? Whatever. No, it hasn't been that long. But what? 10 years? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the Almighty Cyclops. The Almighty Cyclops fits in the group of 6 to 10 guys who are, the players kind of 6th to 10th on the depth chart. But anyway, yeah, Alan Gordon, he's awesome in there. Like, you get a real feeling for kind of who he is as a person, and it's a cool tale. And I've always sort of rooted for him beyond that. But no, he's not talented enough he doesn't deserve 2 caps for the U.S.
Alan Gordon made me think of Wondo, and I'm trying to pull it up right now, but Stars and Stripes put it out.
But you missed it?
This whiff that he had.
This Wondo
whiff. Yeah, this is maybe worse than
well, it wasn't
Belgium.
Worse, because in the end
the setting was not
game
nearly
didn't this Wondo didn't Wondo the chance to move on.
All right, I'm pulling this one up here. Let's see. Application window.
Caleb Stanko, I think, has a shot to get another cap, though.
All right, here we go.
Credit to Stars and Stripes FC, and wherever they get this.
Wondo!
Wondo.
One more time.
Wondo.
Oh,
somebody should get like a sad trombone jersey or something as a Wondo.
We've come a long way on Wondo, of thinking the extra W in his uniform was cute and cool and all that. And I don't know. I hate to get, really upset at guys, because Wando's probably a nice guy. Like, I'm old enough to realize that these are human beings and not just like, pieces of meat out there for our entertainment. And so I hate to
Are you not entertained?
I hate to hate guys too much. But
I don't suffer from that problem.
You don't. You just, they're there for your amusement. But yeah, Wondo.
Pawns.
Wando's good in MLS. He's all right in MLS. We had that one San Jose fan who was mad at us because we made fun of Wondo too much. But you know what?
Maybe that person will be back to bash us again.
Our guy LD would not have missed that shot.
Indeed.
Speaking of, I asked Landon to come on the show in a giant long shot and talk about the efforts going on to bring a team to San Diego. So if you want to say, hey, Landon, you should go on USFanTV and talk about the San Diego bid, tell him. Go out and bug him, and maybe he'll come on.
Yeah, I think it was Leipzig was asking where Conradinho is. He wants to talk to us at the MLS All-Star game. So yeah, you guys might have to like hound him ahead of that to make sure he follows through. But yeah, we intend to talk to him. We want to get yeah, hell, if Donovan would really do it, that would be awesome. That would be like our crowning achievement.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just my favorite
Like
player ever.
That's going on my Twitter bio.
Yeah. Screenshots of us talking to him. Yes, that's
Yeah.
I would probably, if he said, well, I can't figure out Google Hangouts, but can you come to San Diego? I'd probably fly out there.
I will find a way.
Yeah. I do this show that makes almost no money, but I'm on the plane.
Almost no money. Our mighty $11 a month.
Yeah, we actually haven't even made any money yet.
Technically we haven't received anything. So
we have to get over $100 before Google will give it to us. So yeah.
Jose Torres would be interesting. We used to love him. He just kind of disappeared. But speaking of Simon's comments here, yeah, Sunday, the U17 CONCACAF Championships, U.S. and mighty Jamaica. Yeah, we'll have to talk in advance of that, and then probably recap it next week, Simon. I mean, it's hard for me to say what to think of it because it is the 17s, and so anything could happen. It is a tough group, though. I mean, Jamaica, U.S., El Salvador, and Mexico. I guess it's kind of, it's sort of games you want to see. But again, it's U17, so it's hard for me to say. They're such teenagers. They're such teenagers at that point because they could be awesome. They could look incredible. And then they could come out in the second half and be terrible and suddenly get blown out. And momentum means so much in those games, which makes it fun. I mean, it's one of the reasons I like college basketball, but it also throws off what are you really learning from this. So, I mean, I intend to watch probably just to see kind of what the players look like.
We'll see. U17s were good last time we saw them, so. Simon says that, and I believe him because he's smart. Jamaica's only played 6 practice games. We've played 12. So yeah, that definitely does benefit us. What's amazing is we had no clue at about 7:45 what we were going to talk about in this show. And we've now gone 45 minutes and talked about a bunch of stuff, and it's been fun. And that's seriously because of you guys who tune in and watch this crap. Thank you. It's amazing. It'd be a lot worse. I'd be done talking.
Dude, you have
Chris
a 16-year-old center back who's 6'5"? Damn. That's the same height as Omar, who is considered to be the largest or the tallest U.S. player to ever take the field on record that we know of, as far as anyone can tell. And presumably, the guys back in the 30s weren't probably 6'5", but.
If he was Dominican, I would say he's probably 21 or 22. But since he's Jamaican, I'd say he's probably the proper age.
He was Dominican. He might be 35. We don't know.
Our baseball players.
Albert Pujols, anyone.
Our Dominican and Cuban baseball players are really suspect in their actual ages. Yeah. So
I'm 22, born in 1982, born in 1968.
All right. This is USfanTV. We do these shows.
I think Gooch was like 6'4", maybe 6'3". I don't remember.
Yeah, I would have guessed Gucci Onyewu was taller than Omar, but
no, I think officially, because I remember this sort of because I'm like roughly 6'3", so oh, there went Klinsman again. Drink.
Prost.
So yeah, well, so I remember because he's roughly my height. Maybe he might be about an inch taller at like 6'4", but I don't think he's any taller than that. I was kind of surprised Omar was 6'5".
Definitely better at staring people down.
Perhaps.
You stood next to Omar. Was he taller than you?
It was across a fence, and then I was leaning to fit into a picture, so I don't know.
Let's go back and look at the picture.
I wasn't thinking at the time, like, I don't know, how tall is this dude? It wasn't coming across to me like that. I was more that was the same instance. He did the same thing Jozy did because it was the same game where it was like they saw a U.S. jersey and they like dropped kids and went like, Want me to sign that? You want a picture?
Sorry, children. I'm going to go handle this adult right now.
Yeah. Well, dude. Yes. I was like trying to be all polite. I was waiting on the outskirts, letting the kids get their stuff, and they just totally dropped them and came over to me.
Such a jerk. Not him, you. It's for the children.
I'll live.
They probably like signing autographs for people who know who they are.
But I think that's exactly it. I mean, these were kids who, like, they were just getting an autograph from a professional athlete, presumably because of the jersey. I knew who they were, so then they were like, oh, yeah, no, cool. Especially since it wasn't in LA, so, you know, it wasn't their home. They were the visiting team. And
you also met Kaká that game.
I did. Got my signed Kaká jersey and a picture.
You have met a Ballon d'Or winner. It's pretty amazing.
I have.
All right. I think these people have had enough. This is USfanTV. We do the shows Tuesday and Thursday nights. We almost didn't do it tonight because we didn't think we had anything to talk about. And then you guys came through, so I'm glad we did. Website is USfanTV.com. We have Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. They're all USfanTV. We have YouTube, but you know that because you're currently watching this. Subscribe if you haven't. Spread the good word of this show everywhere you can. Email your friends. Maybe call someone and tell them on the phone. Put us on Reddit. Christian always handles that, though. You know, that's how we grow, and it's fun to watch this this stupid thing grow into something that unbelievably some people actually care about. It's all Leipzig, though. I mean, let's be honest. It's all Leipzig. It's not a show without him. Chris, any final words?
I am a little bit curious. Jameson, what is the camp that Douglas Costa and Rafinha are hosting? Is it like is it like an actual training camp, or is it like what kind of deal is this? For $155, you get to meet them. I mean, if nothing else, you could probably get signed jerseys and turn around and sell them and make your money back.
It's an odd price.
Yeah. So I'm
curious
also, what this
camps
is.
are usually more money than that too.
Yeah. I mean, is it like a one-day thing? Yeah. Where is it?
Germany.
It's only $155, but you got to fly to Germany. So.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, I think on that note, Jameson, leave if you can say where it is, or like post some comments about what it is. Predictions for Sunday. I think you're probably right, Simon. That 1-1 is probably a good prediction. For me, it's so hard to predict teenage games because they could be.
Say a score.
Fine, I'll go 2-1 US. My feeling is they could be like 5-0, or they could be like 3-3. Actually, no, 3-3 is probably a better score than 2-1 even.
3-2 Jamaica. How about that? I'm gonna go against the US here. Hopefully they prove me wrong.
2 hours in Connecticut. Yeah, if you're near Connecticut, I'd probably do it. Like I said, if nothing else, maybe you can get jerseys signed by them, and then you can turn around and sell them on the internet or something.
Aren't you just
try to make your money back?
There you
I'm
go.
a scam artist. I have not sold my Kaká jersey. I've thought about it, but I've never done it. I don't want to.
Good for you. All right, say the words. You have to.
You're done.
All right. See you Tuesday. You're done.
For a hamburger today.